In the last videos, we showed the development of this board, the priority controller. Now we're going to move ahead and start building the universal pad. In the universal pad, I will show the same buildup as I did before. Get the size here straight. We'll start there. It's going to require a copper trace, and on this copper trace I'm going to have little squares that can be used for other experiments. This board doesn't necessarily have to work only for this device, so my plans are that if I make more of these, then I can make other devices and things. So for right now I'm going to hide the trace, and the size of that board is 3.5 inches by 5. All the holes for the microcontroller, switches, and headers. This is showing the buttons, and in here are diodes. And when there's diodes in this kind of a matrix type setup, you're able to detect one button no matter how many buttons are pushed. Where other devices, if you don't put the diodes in there, you'll cross-link to other traces, and it'll confuse the system, and it'll say you're pushing buttons that you're not even pushing. This setup, I couldn't get 3 traces to go across, so I added jumpers. It gets a full-size microcontroller, and the labels. So all the labels showing what the buttons, I'm just giving them numbers for right now. And this over here is for dimming the LCD display, getting the contrast correct. So this can be remotely wired in, or fixed resistors can be put in. It all depends on what anybody's interested in doing. So the display will cover up the microcontroller, sit on top. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Now, to make this usable with a mask over it, I've got to build up the spaces in between the diodes and the buttons. So the first mask will cut out for the buttons and the diodes, and it should be just as high as the diodes are, so that when we add the next mask, only the buttons will show. And the top of that mask should be the top of the buttons, so that we can put an overlay on it, and then it looks like any keypad. In my case, I'm not going to use this mask for the buttons. I'm going to use this, and if I were to make this into a standalone device, it could have its own case and be a small little pad. But in my case, I'm not going to have it that way, and it's going to have a cover over it, so I'm not sure exactly what size that's going to be. But this is what the next project will be about, making this device so that I can connect it up and control the relays. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Hopefully the next video should be more interested in, because that one's going to require building this plus programming that chip. So I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and like, and hope to see you on the next video. Bye.